Hello, what is up guys? EvilDoUsHarm here today, back with another Blade & Soul video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new player experience in Blade & Soul, and basically what you can expect getting into the game as a new player. So if you've watched any of the videos on my channel in the last couple of days, you've noticed some pretty satirical and comical videos making fun of the most recent patch. And the main point that I've been making is that it's incredibly difficult as a new player to start progressing in Blade & Soul after these changes. The comment sections of these videos have pointed out several different things you could try as a new player and that I'm being overly negative and overly critical, so I wanted to go ahead and try these things out and see if they actually work and can make a new player be able to progress in the game and actually get up some gear and be able to play the full-on game. So what did I do for this? I've gone over to the EU servers, that way nobody recognized me. I'm on my Blade Dancer Alyssa Caquette. Nobody's going to recognize that character, that's for sure. I used my level 60 voucher, played through the remainder of the story that's not complete for completing the level 60 voucher to get all of the story gear. So I have entirely story gear. Another thing to point out is that when you use the level 60 voucher, you get a progression boost to your character. You would not normally have this progression boost as a new player. So I've got 30,000 more HP, some crazy regen, additional critical accuracy, and HP recovery that you would not have as a new player. So it'd actually be a bit more difficult than you're actually going to see in this video. But this is about as close to a completely new player gearing and getting through Blade & Soul as I can get to at this point. So now what we're going to do is work through the daily challenge and see if it is even possible for a new player to complete all the dungeons in the daily challenge or everything in a daily challenge to get to that 4th daily challenge reward. And I guess I want to touch on it one more time in this video just so people have context in case they haven't seen anything else. The big deal with the daily challenge shift is that everything was pushed back one additional dungeon, while the dungeons themselves were changed to being more recent content, aka more difficult content. The compensation that was coming along with this was that the dungeons would be made easier, but it's kind of been confirmed through patch notes as well as confirmation on forums in different locations that the dungeon difficulties aren't really changing and it's just the insta-wipe mechanics. So if you didn't have the gear to clear the dungeon before, you won't have the gear to clear the dungeon now. The big deal is that for completing 4 daily challenges, you get the upgrade materials that you need in order to upgrade your gear to be able to clear the later content. So my claim in these videos that I've been making is that it's impossible for a new player to be able to get these 4 daily challenges done consistently, to be able to get gear, to be able to progress their character. So the big thing that I want to see is how long does it take as a new player to do the daily challenge, if you can do it at all. And the first place we're going to start is Moon Refuge, because this is probably the easiest one for a new player to be able to do, even though the Control-J scoreboard thing says that you should be doing it at 1200 AP for some reason. Also note that in order to get to Moon Refuge, you need to be HM13, and if you bought a level 60 voucher, completing all the story content is only going to take you to HM12, so you will not be able to access Moon Refuge as a completely new player if you buy a level 60 voucher, so keep that in mind. So I'm basically just going to have at the daily challenge now and see how long it takes me to do it as a completely new player with this fresh out of the story gear. You can see it's 10:43 a.m. in the top right corner of the screen. Note that I'm playing on the EU server and I'm from the US, so it's actually GMT 0, which is 5 hours ahead of my time. So it's actually like 4 o'clock over in Europe, so there should be a solid amount of population playing the game at this point in the day. I'm also going to start a timer on my phone so I don't make any mistakes, but yeah, let's just have at the daily challenge. Alright, so it has been 45 minutes, but we have completed the daily challenge here. I've completed all 4 of the daily challenges simply by pugging into the dungeons on the LFG and F8. So it is not impossible as a new player to complete your daily challenge. I do apologize for having made that statement. I'm going to edit the video and take down the video from yesterday because it was kind of a little bit over the top. Now, I do want to point out, however, as a new player, I was doing 70,000 DPS in this Ransacked Treasury boss fight. Okay, cool. Ransacked Treasury boss, the final boss, has 260 million health, and the party completed the dungeon in 50 seconds. That means the average DPS of our party was 5.2 million. Subtract out my 70,000 DPS, means everybody else, the other 5 people in the party, were averaging 1 million damage per second across them. So, I do want to point out that you are going to be hardcore carried in these dungeons as a new player. It's not going to be easy, simple mode walking right on in, as the name suggests. And that is the case for all of the dungeons. If you look back on all of them, I don't know how quickly I'm going to fast forward through the video or not to try and make this more watchable, but yeah, the case was that I got hardcore carried through all of them. The only one that I really did myself was Moon Refuge. So I do want you to keep that in mind. Also, the time to complete was 45 minutes. I believe I mentioned that already. And this is compared to the previous time to complete the daily challenge of about 22, 23, 24 minutes. So about twice as long to complete the daily challenge for the same rewards. I do want to point out that the new daily challenge does give you increased reputation and unity points across the daily challenge. So you will progress your unity level faster, which does give you bonus stats. I want to make sure that I'm not totally misrepresenting the system. But basically, it's about twice as much time and effort to receive the same rewards. And as a new player, you're not really playing the game, you're kind of just getting carried through the game to complete your daily challenge while you get items to progress your character further. So, as a new player, is Blade & Soul accessible? Can you actually play the game and do the content? Yes, you can actually play the game and do the content. My last video, once again, a little bit over the top. However, as a new player or as even an experienced player, you're going to be spending twice as much time for the same rewards that we were getting before the patch, and half the gold. So keep that in mind as you go and progress here in Blade & Soul. But I do want to put this video out and put clarification to my previous video that might have been a bit over the top once again. But anyway, guys, I hope you found this video informative. If you did like the video, make sure to leave a like, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and make sure you're subscribed to stay updated when new content comes out. Peace.